Hello from the welcome to Sunburned Albino ranks every waifu and Danganronpa 53 from worst to best. Major spoilers, naturally. I really like almost every girl in this game. Some of these ranks are going to sound crazy at first, especially to those of you who watched my series, but before you knee-jerk react, if you would first allow me to explain and then you can be hella mad after that at least. Starting from 8 and working our way down to 1, number 8, Tenko. Before I say anything else, let me say that I like Tenko. If you max her friendship fragments, she's actually the funniest character in the game, and is even kind of charming in a dim-witted, gullible sort of way, but this placement should surprise no one. It just could never work. Tenko hates all degenerate males, which studies have shown I happen to be, and though you can technically break through that, just imagine how much work that would be in real life. Like, how many times are you gonna tolerate being thrown to the floor before you're like, fuck this, I'm out? When she's not making frothingly ridiculous faces, Tenko is kind of obscurely like a pretty girl. I mean, I like her, even more than a few characters that are coming up next, but in terms of logistics, she's the least likely waifu to work out, so she has to go here. Number 7, Tsumugi. Yes, I know she can turn into any Danganronpa character and is therefore 416 waifus in one, but it's not genuine. If there's been 52 previous Danganronpa seasons and half of them were girls, that's 8 times 52 equals 416 in case you were wondering. Because she gets cospox if she tries to do anyone from the current season, which baffles me since they're all fictional characters too, supposedly. Regardless, I ain't just looking for a roulette wheel of role-playing sex fantasies. And even if she didn't ever change her character, that doesn't work in her favor either, because she's the most plain boring girl in the game by design. Tsumugi's entire friendship arc is basically just a long Tumblr post about cosplay that I will not be reblogging. Number 6, Miyu. Miyu might be rude and crude, but if you get to know her, she has a really genuinely nice side to her. Unfortunately, she also has incredibly low self-esteem, and her boisterous, vulgar attitude is pretty much a mask to hide behind, and I don't do masks. You give me you, or you give me nothing at all. Miyu's origins are pretty interesting. She got in a near-fatal accident as a child and woke from her coma able to do all sorts of new things, which is a real scientific phenomenon where people who have NDEs, or near-death experiences, come back from the brink of death with newfound abilities. Despite most of her inventions being erotically based, there's no question that she's a bona fide genius in her own right, and there's parts of her dynamic I can get behind, but her insecurity is a repellent. Like, especially in her love suite scene, where her fantasy is literally to beg you to put a baby inside her so you won't abandon her. That's the kind of girl who eventually suffers a mental breakdown and becomes a supervillain in love with whatever superhero she runs into the most. I'm not on board with that. Number 5, Kirumi. Honestly, I am not into Kirumi at all. Oh, she's got the credentials to be ultimate waifu, no question. An ultimate maid who can fulfill almost any request, a master-servant relationship, it all sounds great, but it feels uninspired. I know I put Peiko from Danganronpa 2 really high on that list, and this is kind of the same deal, but with Kirumi I just don't feel a connection. Maybe she's too multi-purpose. Her abilities so broad and many that you're kind of desensitized, like, oh, she can do anything? Alright, I guess. I guess it's hard to get excited about such a far-fetched concept, you know? Like, I was fine with her whole background story during the second trial. I'm not someone who typically goes, oh, this isn't believable, and checks out. That was all fine for her motive, but it puts her at a distance from me emotionally. Maybe none of that makes any sense, but Kirumi is just meh to me. Number 4, Himiko. Himiko is adorable. I was sold right away, and she got even better after she vowed to be strong for her fallen friends and not so emotionally reserved. She's one of those girls that likes to be pet, as revealed in her love suite scene. Like, not just her head, but also her back and stuff, which is weird but endearing too. I think it's relatively safe to say she's delusional about being an actual mage, but I don't even mind playing along. I wanted the magic to be real, but I think in her way she was just trying to keep the sense of awe and wonder alive. It's not like she was lying to try and fool us. Anyway, Himiko is cute, and whenever her sprite did that smile where she points her finger up in the air, I was smiling too because, ugh. Number 3, Kaede. As I'm making this list and typing this script, I'm moving characters around so much. It's so hard to decide on a definitive ranking. Kaede's entire plot was fucking excellent. You never would have thought that they'd switch the protagonist 6 hours into the story, and what a gut punch that was. I didn't feel such pain since Sayaka in Danganronpa 1, and then to find out later that she didn't even actually kill anybody but got executed anyway is just icing on the shit cake. Kaede is a bright, energetic optimist. Two adjectives and a noun that are the complete opposite of me, and so I'm attracted. Not to mention she's the ultimate pianist, a fact that got me smitten with her right away. We could play duets together. Music is a bond that people who don't make or play it can't feel. It's unspoken symbiosis, as your inner essences intertwine with each other and tie strong emotional knots. When you play together, you bear your souls in plain view of each other to see. It's powerful. Kaede is the perfect girl, and she's third. I'm so torn. Number 2, Maki. I voted Maki as best girl while I was playing the demo, when she was just this beautiful irony of an ultimate child caregiver who doesn't like children, and nobody thought she was going to play any kind of main role in the story, but look where we ended up. The words ultimate assassin squeak out of Kokichi's mouth, and instantly everybody's ears perk up, and oh, now you're on board with Maki. Well, bitches, you can get in line firmly behind me, cause I've been here since the start. My affection for Maki only grew and grew as the story went on, reaching historically high levels for a Danganronpa character, but then the game had to go and do something insanely mean and make her fall for fucking Kaito. And I can't even be mad, because Kaito is a great guy, which makes it even worse. Why did Kaito have to be the goddamn glue that held the group together for such a long-ass time and be the rally point for everybody's hope? Totally unfair, especially with how much Shuichi owes to him. Like, Kaito is negatively untouchable, and it sucks. But at least you can do the salmon mode dating sim where Maki has no history with him and not feel bad about it. But overall, symbolically, Maki is the girl you love but can't have. Number 1, Angie. Dude, I know. If you watched my series, you're like, excuse me? In the 3rd chapter, you literally said you weren't sad she was dead. I know, and I meant it then. But that was before I had the chance to do her friendship arc and love suite scene, and Angie is the perfect example of a character whose likability is only properly shown off in the extracurricular activities. I never talked to her during the main game, so how could I have known? And you might be in the same boat as me, so let me tell y'all about Angie right now. Angie lives on an island whose population she basically controls by being an oracle to Atua. Everyone on the island will do whatever she says if she tells them it's Atua's will, and yes, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I like mine better. Her culture is basically a cross between Mormonism and a hippie commune, and I don't like either of those things separately, but when you put them together in the way she describes it, I can't help but be intrigued. But the main draw is the way she acts toward you when you spend time with her. She's unabashedly vibrant and unchained, the true embodiment of a free spirit. She gets right up in your face in a playfully sexy way and drags you along on her carefree path. In the main plot of the game, she came off as a cult leader who impeded progress and tried to take over the school, but she's just a girl who wants to spread love to every corner of the earth, and this Kool-Aid tastes pretty good. Plus, in retrospect, she was right to stomp on the flashback light and stop the spread of remembrance because they were implanting false memories anyway. Angie is bae. Well, that's gonna do it for this list. I expect more dissidence than usual because I know it's wacky, but like, share, and subscribe for more waifu rankings and other videos, and I'll see you guys next time.